In today's class, we'll try to learn about male reproductive system. Reproductive system may not be important for the survival of life as the respiratory system or cardiovascular system, but it is important for maintenance of our species. Okay. Our male reproductive system consists of number of sex organs that are part of human reproductive process. Okay. The important function of reproductive system is to produce, store, and release the male gametes, that is, the sperm. The male reproductive organs can be external genital organs or internal genital organs. External genital organs are penis and scrotum. The internal genital organs are testis, epididymis, vas deferens, and accessory glands, which includes seminal vesicles, prostate glands, and bulbourethral glands. So testis is called primary sex organ, whereas epididymis, vas deferens, and accessory glands, they are called as secondary sex organs. So this diagram describes the functional anatomy of the male reproductive system. Can see in the side view, uh, in the testis, the the sperms are produced through they are stored in the epididymis. So then they travels into the vas deferens. Okay, so then they're going to join the prostatic part of the urethra. Okay, so then the sperm is ejaculated out of the penile part of the urethra. Okay, so this view shows the front view. Okay, from the testis, the vas deferens arises. Okay, so it is going to join seminal vesicle. They form a ejaculated duct, which is going to join the prostatic urethra. Okay, and then sperm is going to be ejaculated out. So this is another diagram showing again testis, vas deferens, seminal vesicles, where ejaculated duct joins the prostatic urethra and forms the common outlet for urine as well as semen. External genital organs are penis and scrotum. Okay, so penis is an organ by which sperm is introduced into the female. It contains a spongy tissue that becomes turgid and erect when filled with the blood. Internal genital organs like testis, epididymis, seminal vesicles, prostate glands, and bulbourethral we are going to discuss in detail. Testis, the pair of testes are present in the scrotum. Okay, so these testes are two oval-shaped male organs that produce sperm and hormone testosterone. Okay, so testosterone is very important as it is important for the growth of the internal external genitalia. Okay, and also they are important for the development of the secondary sexual characters when the male becomes adult. Okay, so that is why testosterone is called as primary male sex organ. Epididymis is highly coiled structure. I mean, against the testicles, it acts as a maturation and storage place for sperm. Okay, the sperms are going to be uh, nurtured, they are stored, they are matured, and they are going to attain some kind of motility in epididymis. Vas deferens or ductus deferens. The vas deferens is thin tube that starts from the epididymis, okay, uh, to the urethra in the penis. Okay, so its important function is transport sperm from epididymis in anticipation of ejaculation. Accessory glands like seminal vesicles, prostate gland, and bulbourethral gland. These glands produce nourishing fluid for the sperm that enter into the urethra. Okay. So, uh, seminal vesicle, prostate glands, and bulbourethral glands, they're going to secrete the fluid which is going to make most of the volume of the semen. Okay. So, seminal vesicles, they make a 40% of the uh, seminal fluid. Prostate gland makes around 30% of the seminal fluid. Bulbourethral glands around 10% of the seminal fluid, and the sperms make 10% of the rest. Okay, so the amount of semen produced per ejaculation is around 2 to 3 ml. Okay, and what is the sperm count? It is around 120 to 150 millions per ml. So seminal vesicles, if you see, there are a pair of glands, sac-like structures attached to the vas deferens at one side of the bladder. Okay, so they produce sticky yellowish fluid that contains fructose. Okay, so these secretion, they're very important for the nutrients for the sperms that are going to reach the urethra. And also they are alkaline in nature. The fluid is alkaline in nature. uh, Okay, so that is going to protect the sperms when the sperms are deposited in the vaginal in the vagina, because vaginal pH is very acidic. Okay, and so that may destroy the sperms. So that is why the alkaline fluid is going to buffer the acidic pH of the vagina, and hence the sperm should be able to survive in the vaginal tract. Okay. So even prostate gland, which surrounded by the ejaculatory duct at the base of the urethra just below the bladder. Okay. So this also important for the making the production of the semen. And as I told you, it makes around 30% of the total volume of semen. Okay. So this liquid is a mixture of uh, a sperm cell, prostatic fluid, and the seminal fluid when the the entire fluid enters into the prostate gland. Okay, so this is also alkaline in nature and also helps the sperm to survive in the acidic pH in the vagina when the sperm is deposited or semen is deposited. Bulbourethral glands are also called as Cowper glands. So the bulbourethral glands are two glands located in the sides of the um urethra just below the prostate gland. So here you can see the small tiny prostate glands. So these glands produce clear slippery fluid that empties directly into the urethra, and when it comes out with the semen, okay, so this is going to help in the process of lubrication during copulation. Coming to the sperm, uh, which carries the genetic material uh, and transmits this information during the fertilization. Okay, so if you see the structure, it has a head, middle piece, and the tail. Okay, so head is a large, and it contains the DNA. Okay, and middle piece is a narrow uh, part, and it contains numerous mitochondria. Okay, so which produce energy. That energy is utilized for the movement of the flagella. Okay, so tail has a waveform like motion. Okay, and the flagellum, because of flagellum, the sperm it moves in a forward direction. Coming to the spermatogenesis is nothing but it is the formation of the sperm cell from spermatogonia. So this process takes place in seminiferous tubules. Okay, so the testis is divided into many lobules. In the lobules, you have uh, numerous seminiferous tubules. So in the seminiferous tubules, spermatogenesis occurs. Okay, so this is the part of the seminiferous tubules. Okay, so at the basement membrane, you have primordial cells, sperm cells. So then they get differentiated into different stages of spermatozoa. Okay, and ultimately they mature and they are released from the Sertoli cells into the seminiferous tubule. Okay, so this is how spermatogenesis occurs. Okay, so the primordial germ cell layers, cells, they remain quiescent till the puberty. At the puberty, these cells get stimulated. Okay, so they starts proliferating. They divide into multiple number by mitosis. Okay, so these mitotic cells, okay, so they are going to mature and they are going to develop into the primary spermatocytes. Okay, so then these primary spermatocytes, they undergo meiotic division. Okay, so in the first meiotic division, so there will be reduction of the chromosomal numbers. Okay, so the chromosomes from 46, they are going to reduce to 23. So then in second meiotic division, there will be another mitosis. Okay, so where these haploid cells again, they divide. Okay, and hence one spermatocyte can release four spermatids. Okay, so then eventually they are going to develop into the mature forming a tail. Okay, and the total time required for the spermatogenesis around 72 days. Okay, so this the spermatogenesis, which is shown in the flow chart, spermatogonia, they undergoes mitosis and differentiation. Okay, so mature, they will form the primary spermatocytes, which are diploid in nature. So then there will be first meiotic division, where there will be reduction of the chromosome numbers. Okay, so then during second meiotic division, the secondary spermatocyte again divides by mitosis. Okay, so those are going to form the spermatids. Spermatids going to differentiate into spermatozoa. Ejaculation is the discharge of semen from penis. During orgasm, the semen forcefully expelled from the body by muscular contraction of the sperm ducts. Okay. Uh, at the peak of the sexual arousal, muscles in the epididymis, seminal vesicle, prostate gland, and vas deferens contract. At the same time, sphincter muscle at the base of the bladder contracts, preventing urine from leaking into urethra from bladder. Another sphincter also contract, closing off the entrance of urethra into penis. In the second stage of ejaculation, the expulsion stage, the sphincter at the base of the penis relaxes, admitting semen into the penis. So simultaneously, a series of strong muscle contraction around the base of the penis and along the urethra expels the semen from the body. Okay, so this is the summarization of the functions of the different parts of the male reproductive organ. Testis important function is to produce sperm and testosterone. Epididymis, it helps in the storage and maturation of the sperm. Sperm duct or vas deferens carries the sperm from epididymis to the urethra. The seminal vesicles, Cowper glands, prostate glands, so they are going to form the major part of uh, the semen. Okay, so 40% is by seminal vesicles, 30% is by prostate glands, and 10% is by Cowper's, and rest is sperm. So collectively, it is called as semen. Urethra allows the passage of either urine or sperm at a time. The penis places the sperm inside the body of the female, and scrotum keeps the testis at the lower temperature. Okay, the testes are kept in the scrotal sac so that it will maintain the lower temperature. Okay, so if the testis is exposed for the higher temperature, okay, so it is going to definitely affect the sperm count, because optimum temperature is required for the meiosis to occur. Okay, so it may lead to a condition called as oligospermia. Okay, so oligospermia is reduction in the sperm count when sperm count uh, decreases less than 20 millions per ml. Okay, and as we know that the normal count of sperm in semen is around 120 to 150 million sperms per ml. Testosterone, I mean, is a primary sex hormone. This is a steroid hormone essential for growth, form, and function of the male reproductive tract. Okay, so it governs the formation of the spermatogenesis. It triggers the development of the male secondary sexual traits and stimulates the aggressive behavior in males. Okay. And it is going to be secreted from the Leydig cells between the lobes of the testis. Okay. So this is the lobe of the testis. Okay, so these are the seminiferous tubules. Okay, so in between you have a interstitial fluid where you can see the situation of the Leydig cells. These Leydig cells, they are going to produce the hormone testosterone. Okay. And we have a Sertoli cells also in the seminiferous tubules. Okay, so you can see the triangular shape of Sertoli cells. So their important function is to support the developing the spermatogenic cells. Okay, so you can see the Sertoli cells is harboring the different developing spermatozoa. Okay, and it is going to release these sperms ultimately into the seminiferous tubular lumen. Okay, so it is also important for the formation of the blood-brain barrier. Okay, so these have a tight junctions. You can see the Sertoli cells here. Okay, so these form the tight junctions with another Sertoli cells, and it forms the barrier so that the toxic substances, they should not enter into the seminiferous tubules. Okay, so thus they have a protective in nature, blood-brain barrier. Okay, and they also, the Sertoli cells also, they produce some of the important substance like androgen binding protein. Okay, so which helps in the concentration of the testosterone in the seminiferous tubules. Okay, and they also produce anti-Mullerian hormone. Okay, so which is important for especially in the embryonic phase. They develop, or they help in the development of the internal genital organ. So they facilitates the development of the Mullerian Wolffian ducts. Okay, so Wolffian ducts is going to develop into the internal genital tract. Okay, so inhibin helps in the negative feedback mechanism of the production of follicle stimulating hormone. The hormonal factors that stimulate the spermatogenesis. Importantly, the testosterone, which is produced from the interstitial cells of the Leydig. Okay, so which is essential for growth and division of the testicular germinal cells. Estrogens, they are formed from the testosterone in the Sertoli cells. Okay, so in the Sertoli cells, the estrogens they are produced from the testosterone when they are stimulated by follicle stimulating hormone. Okay, they are also essential for spermatogenesis. So luteinizing hormone stimulates the Leydig cells. Okay, so luteinizing hormone stimulates the Leydig cells that is going to secrete the testosterone. And follicle stimulating hormone, it acts on the Sertoli cells. In the Sertoli cells, the testosterone gets converted into estrogen, and estrogen is important for the different stages of spermatogenesis. Okay, so here remember that here estrogen is a female sex hormone. Okay, but it is required for the spermatogenesis in the female. And growth hormone, which is necessary for controlling the metabolic function of the testis. Okay, so it also helps in the growth of the spermatozoa. Okay, so here the functions of testosterone are enlisted. So the important function is spermatogenesis. It helps in the stimulation and development of the genitalia. Okay, and it also important for the development and maintenance of the secondary sexual characters in male. Okay, so what are the different sexual characters of the male? Okay, so that is the development of the beard and mustache, then the increase in the musculature, the musculature, the skeletal muscle is almost double that of the female in males. Okay, and the development of the pubic hair, chest hairs. Okay, so enlargement of the chest. Okay, um, okay, so these are some of the male and temporal baldness. So these are some of the male secondary sexual characters. Maintenance of the libido. Libido is nothing but the interest in the opposite sex. Okay, and they also affect the metabolism. Okay, so they are totally anabolic hormone, and they're going to store the all the nutrients inside the cells like protein, carbohydrates, and fats. Okay, so wherever the testosterone, it is going to affect. So it also causes the growth of the bone in thickness and deposition of the calcium salts uh, in the bone. Okay, and also they are going to increase the production of the red blood cells. So that is why males will have the higher RBC count compared to females. So they are going to increase the production of the erythropoietin from the kidney. And this is how testosterone levels are maintained by the negative feedback mechanism. Okay, so for which hypothalamo-pituitary gonadal axis is important. Okay, so the hypothalamus is going to produce the gonadotropin releasing hormone that in turn acts on the anterior pituitary to produce the luteinizing hormone that acts on the Leydig cells. Leydig cells is going to produce testosterone and estradiol. Okay, so higher levels of testosterone and estradiol, they are going to uh, inhibit the pituitary uh, to cause reduced production of the luteinizing hormone, and also they are going to act on the hypothalamus to decrease the production of the gonadotropin releasing hormone. So thus, by negative feedback mechanism, the testosterone uh, secretion is controlled. Okay, so at the same time, the FSH is going to be produced from the anterior pituitary that acts on the Sertoli cells. Okay, so we know the functions, different functions of the Sertoli cells now. Okay, so they are important for spermatogenesis. Okay, the other hormone which is produced from the Sertoli cells, which is called as inhibin. Okay, so this inhibin, by negative feedback, it is going to stimulate the pituitary to decrease the production of FSH. So that is how it is going to control the activity of the Sertoli cells. Okay, and it is going to control the functions of the Sertoli cells. Okay, so that is how the the production of the testosterone is regulated mainly by the hypothalamic and pituitary hormones. Okay, so this is in brief about the male reproductive system. Thank you.